Okay, today we will be solving linear systems using the elimination method. And this time we're going to be doing it using subtraction. So, to start here, the elimination method allows us to cancel out one of the variables so we can solve for the other one. It's actually sometimes a much quicker method than graphing or doing substitution. So, the very first thing you have to do when doing the elimination method is make sure both equations are in standard form. Well, if you look at the top equation, 2x plus 5y equals 12, that is standard form where x and y are both on the same side, and then our constant term is over on the other side. If you look at equation 2 is not in that form. The y is separate from the x, so we actually have to take and move the x over to the other side. To do that, we're going to use our algebra skills, and this is a positive 4x. Since it's a positive 4x, we need to subtract 4x to both sides. And when you subtract 4x to both sides, the 4x's are going to cancel out over on the right side, leaving us with just the positive 6 left over. And then over on the left side, we want to arrange this so standard form has our x term coming first. So we have 4x plus 5y. Now we are at a spot where both of our x's and y's are on the same side. We are in standard form. So to follow the elimination method, we're going to take and just rewrite the very top equation without changing anything. That is 2x plus 5y is equal to 12. And then you need to take this second equation, the one that we arranged so it is in standard form, and rewrite it right underneath the other equation. So we get 4x plus 5y is equal to 6. All right, in the elimination method, we always look at the x's and the y's and how they match up. Well, 2x and negative 4y, that's not really going to help us out a whole lot. But we have a positive 5y and a positive 5y. Since the signs in front of the coefficient, positive and positive, are exactly the same, that tells us we have to use the subtraction method. Now, when we use the subtraction method, we need to go ahead and we need to subtract everything here. Well, I don't like to think of it as subtraction. I like to think of this as changing everything to the opposite sign. So if I have 2x minus a negative 4x, that really becomes a positive. So if I change this to addition, I'm going to change the sign of every term inside of this parentheses, including that negative 6. Now once we've done that, you have 2x, and this is now plus a 4x, that becomes 6x. And then you have 5y plus negative 5y. Well, 5y plus negative 5y, those are going to cancel out, leaving the y's to disappear or become eliminated. Then we have 12 plus negative 6. Well, 12 plus negative 6 is 6. And now we're left with a one-step algebra problem. Once you have that one-step algebra problem, go ahead and solve for x. And the 6's will reduce down to x. 6 over 6 reduces down to 1. And we have x equals 1. Now we have to go and we get to choose any one of the original equations to plug in x and solve for y. Well, let's use this space over here. And we're going to solve for y. Okay, so solving for y. just for fun, let's take the top equation. It does not matter which one we pick. And we're going to go ahead and do 2 times x. But instead of x, we just found that x is equal to 1. We're going to substitute that in. So 2x plus 5y is equal to 12. And just like all the other methods that we've had before, now we need to solve for y. So this is our algebra process. Multiplication comes first. We have 2 times 1 is 2, plus 5y is equal to 12. And what we're looking at here is we're looking at a 2-step algebra problem. Tee it up. We're going to subtract 2 to both sides. So the 2's will cancel out. We get 5y left over. And 12 minus 2 is 10. Now we're looking at a 1-step algebra problem. This is 5 times y, so we're going to divide both sides by 5. And the 5's will reduce down to 1, or we like to say just y. 5 over 10, or 5 divided by 10 is 2. Well, we found x, we found y. The last part is to go ahead and write your solution. The solution to any linear system is always a ordered pair. X coming first. Oops. X always comes first. Well, we have x as 1, and then y as a positive 2. Now, I'm going to recommend that you actually take the time and you go back and check. Plug 1 in for x right here. Go ahead, plug 2 in for y. We could almost do this in our head. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 plus 5 is 12. That equals that. This is a true expression. You could do the same for the bottom equation. If you plug in x equals 1, 4 times 1 is 4, plus 6 is 10. And then over here on the left side, 5 times 2 is 10. That would give us 10 equals 10. And we just checked the solution.